Conan Byrne, congratulations, the 53-year wait, it is over.
It is over, thank God. The monkey's off the back now, but we deserved it. I think we deserved it from 20-25 minutes into the game when we started to get the ball down. I think both teams looked nervous, but after 20-25 minutes we got going and we created a lot of chances, and thankfully when Christie scored it was just hold on, and they never really threatened. They had two good chances in fairness to them, but thankfully we won the game.
It was one of those games that was calling out for a Keith Fahy masterclass, and he in fairness he did put it in along with the other St. Pat's players, but especially his experience really showed today.
Yeah, I thought the lads in the middle were very good. I thought Keith was very good, I thought Greg Bulger was very good, and obviously Killian was very good too. That was the makings of the game, the midfield three, the battle in there, because there was 3v3, and whoever came out on top would win the game, and thankfully it was us.
I mean, it was a case of like Derry, they matched you, but I mean it was two mistakes at the back for them that won it. I mean it's that sort of luck that St. Pat's just haven't had in the last 53 years in these cup finals.
That's it, like you're going to need a bit of luck to win a cup, and it's always been the case. The lads the last time in 2012 would have been unfortunate. We had our mistakes that day, but look, we learned from them, and we did learn from them, and we come into the day, we didn't make any mistakes. Everyone was very, very good, confident on the ball, and we knew our jobs, and we done them well.
Derry, they matched you, as I say, but I mean, like it just there was a bit more experience in these big matches in the St. Pat's squad today than maybe in the Derry squad.
We knew that if we were going to play, we'd win, or play well, we'd win the game, and look, we did that, and we did play. We played better than them. We deserved a win, and we'll go from here now and regroup for next season and try and retain our title.
You mentioned regrouping for next season. Do you think that the bulk of this Pat squad, including yourself, do you think that they'll stay on? I mean, we had was a Birmingham re-signing during the week. I mean, it looks like Liam is going to try to get everyone in early.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Like I just concentrate on the football side of things. I don't. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if it'd be great if we can keep the majority of that squad, because it's a very, very good squad, and maybe a few fresh faces, and we'll go from there.
All right, thank you very much. That's a hugely disappointing result, especially considering it was one of those games that was going to come down to a moment of magic or a defensive error, and unfortunately for Derry it was the defensive errors.
Well, it wasn't the best goal in the world like they scored, but we knew if we got them to a certain stage in the match that we were a lot fitter and we would have got top them, because we'd done it before during the season, and they've got their goal and went on and won the game, but fair play to them, they're a brilliant side.
Derry obviously have a very talented squad, but I mean players like Keith Fahy, they just don't have someone like that at their disposal. I mean, who has this massive game experience. He's
a good player, and he's played at a really good level, and there's no doubt in his ability, but we're young, do you know what I mean? He's been about and seen it. We have a lot of young players, and myself included. I'm still only 22 and I've been to a lot of cup finals, so hopefully I'll stand us in good stead for the future.
I mean, you look at this Derry squad, it's got a lot of potential. It may not be like the finished article yet, but there's definitely room for improvement there, and if they can keep the bulk of this squad together, I mean, Roddy Collins would have said at the start of the season that they had the potential to win the league, and I mean it's definitely something this squad could aim towards.
We've been together now a couple of years, and that's what we're aiming for. Peter will take us next year hopefully, and he's steadied the ship and he's been brilliant for us, so hopefully he can get a good crack at it. But from the start of the season to where we are now, I wouldn't have believed you if you had said so. It's an achievement itself.
Yeah, you mentioned it's an achievement itself. I mean, with like at the start of the season, Roddy came in with a different philosophy than the players were used to, and I mean it was unfortunate that sort of way. But I mean, since Peter has taken over, I mean Derry have looked a totally different outfit, and they've looked really they've looked convincing, they've looked quick on the ball, they've looked urgent. I mean it's they look at an entirely different squad. I mean it's hard to believe that they were this is the same team that drew 1-1 with Shamrock Rovers in that first game of the season.
Peter has a different way of playing, and it's a lot better. Roddy has his own methods. I've said it before, and it's worked before at all our clubs, but it just didn't work here. And Peter deserves a lot of credit, and I don't think people's giving him enough credit, because the job he's done to get us to where we are now is brilliant.
Finally, a lot of young players in this Derry squad. I mean, it's playing out there in front of a crowd of 17,000. I mean, it's the level that all of the lads in that squad will want to aspire to, and it's something that it's a bit of experience it gives you to aspire to a level like that, because there are a lot of players there who could play in crowds like this every week.
Oh, of course. There's a few players out there who haven't played in a big crowd like that, so it's a good experience, and they'll take it on in their career. And just Mickey Duffy, he's been excellent for us all year, and That's really his first taste of playing in a big game like that, so as you say, it'll be brilliant for his career in the future.
Alright, thank you very much. Jared, the big long wait, it's finally over. St. Pat's are FAI Cup champions, and I'd say it's probably up there with it's probably a better achievement than winning the league, because of the way St. Pat's have won this cup.
Yeah, the draw's been kind of kind to us throughout the route, in fairness, but you still have to win your games, and we knew going to the final whether we got Rovers or Derry was going to be a tough game. You know, you're looking at the press and the media and all week, and they're saying it's a handy Pats win, but you know, I was reminding one or two of the lads of the Hull game, Hull and Arsenal. You know, Hull found themselves 2 up, and Arsenal needed extra time to beat them. So I don't think it's going to go down as a classic, but it'll go down as St. Pat's winning it, and that's the main thing.
And it's a classic in the Pats fans' minds.
Oh yeah, that'll be the best cup final ever for them.
And I mean, you look at it was like you mentioned, it wasn't technically the best game. And I mean, it was going to be one of those games where either a moment of magic from one of the St. Pat's players or a mistake from one of the Derry lads was going to win it for Pats.
Yeah, probably fair enough. Well, in fairness, Christie had a lot of chances. You know, his touch let him down a little bit, but in fairness, he came in great spirits at half time, and we kind of got around him and said, "Git, there's a chance here for you." You know, I thought they were a little bit off at the back, and it's the call. You're probably not going to find a scrappier goal in the cup final, but listen, it gave us that little bit of a platform to kick on, and we did for a few minutes. I thought Fats' ball through to Christie, and the one that you just knocked wide, and then you missed that, and then you're kind of inviting them back on. But listen, I'm just delighted we held on at the end.
You mentioned Keith Fahy. I mean, his sort of experience in games like this. I mean, he would have been playing in games like this almost every week for Birmingham back in the day. And I mean, his sort of experience must have been huge for the Pats team going into this game.
Yeah, listen, Keith, just the way Keith plays. You know, you don't even have to know who he is or what he's done before. Just the way when he plays down the pitch, he's positive. You know, you can see why he's been in England. You can see why he's been capped so many times for Ireland. He's got that class.
He probably still could. He could still do a job for Martin O'Neill if he was asked.
Of course he could. Unfortunately, I think you have to move on to different pastures to get called up to this country. But listen, I can't speak for Keith. It was a pleasure with him in the dressing room this season. And as you said, his experience was vital throughout the year. You know, little words of advice here and there, but his all-round play was fantastic.
I mean, Pats did not enjoy the best start to the season, but I mean, he mentioned that the Legia game was a real turning point, because it seemed like Pats were almost Pats put in their best performance of the season after the 1-1 draw away to Legia. Yeah,
we did. We played well, but it was that spell beforehand. But in fairness, and I know it's not excuses, we never got a settled team at all. We always had injuries and we had suspensions, and we just couldn't get that settled team the way the likes of Dundalk and we had last year. And that makes a big difference. Makes a big difference to players. You know, you can get a rhythm going, you get momentum in your wins, you get momentum in your team, and you don't look back. But unfortunately, we were a little bit stop-start. But in fairness, as Keith says, since the Leisure game, we kicked on, we knuckled down, we worked hard. Our form was probably right up there with Dundalk and Cork's, but we gave ourselves a little bit too much to that.
Finally, I mean, how much was how much did Liam have to try to convince you to get it out of your minds, the whole big 53 years thing? Because I mean, like everyone was talking about, make our own history and all this. I mean, and Pats, they didn't come out with any sort of they didn't look like they were coming out with any sort of jinx over their heads.
No, I don't think so. Listen, if anyone that knows Liam, he's the most positive man on the earth. You know, you could find yourself 2-0 down with 2 minutes to go, we still believe he's going to win a game, but that's just the way he is. He's a positive, it rubs off on you, he gives you that freedom to go and play. And listen, as he said, someone was bound to win it. Yeah. You know, we had a cracker at 2 years ago, it wasn't the big. We had a cracker at today, and we've done it. So, you know, as he said, it was going to be won. It was just, I think there wasn't one mutter all week in training that we were going to be beaten. I think we were very positive. Everything that could have went wrong 2 years ago went wrong, and anything this week was just said. That's great.
Alright, thank you. Peter Hutton it's very disappointing. I mean, especially considering that last goal when Derry looked like they were the team most likely to score in those last few minutes.
Yeah, it was just a bit of a sucker punch. You know, we conceded probably a very sloppy first goal, and if anything, the first goal is going to be critical in this game. It's very cagey, tight affair, but immensely proud of the players, the way they rallied after conceding that goal, and they really put it up to some Pats and built a bit of momentum, but unfortunately we couldn't get that equaliser.
You look at the squad that, like, Derry obviously have a very talented squad, but the players like Keith Fahy have this big game experience. It probably showed in the end in St. Pat's side.
I wouldn't say so, because to be quite honest, I don't think Keith Fahy kicked it the second half. I thought we dominated possession for long spells, and I mean, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, like, far from it, but
you'd take him at Derry, wouldn't you?
No, we couldn't afford him. But no, I mean, I'm immensely proud of my players to see, but St. Pat's, Keith and Ger Bolger and Killian Brennan, top quality players. like Conan Burns has an amazing season, Chris Fagan. You go right through their squad, very talented team, and they just, fair play them, they've won the night, they've waited long enough for the cup so they can enjoy it. It's been a tough season for Derry, but I mean you'd have to say there's some modicum of success considering where they were when you took over in full charge. Yeah, I mean it was an achievement in itself probably getting here, but I mean no one remembers the losers. We're just saying the players there, but they can be immensely proud of the work they've put in since myself and the team have come in. But I mean the future's bright for a lot of them, and it's important now. This is a learning curve for them, and if they want to come back and get occasions like this and play in front of crowds like this too, then they just sort of, as I say, have to learn from it. You mentioned playing in front of crowds like this in a ground like this. I mean it's the level that these players must aspire to be playing in every week. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean we have a lot of good young talented players, and a few of them I'm sure aspire to play across the water as well. And I mean that's football. I mean they want to play at the highest level, so Derry, to be fair, gives them a platform to go and do that. It's a relatively small squad Derry have had this year, probably due to like budgetary constraints or whatever, but like they've shown their quality, haven't they? No, they have. Well, to be quite honest, we had a fairly large squad at the start of the season. We had about 28 or 29, but we've deliberately cut it down. We wanted a good tighter group, and we've done that. But at the minute, yeah, it's a bit thin. So we'll have a chat now with the board over the coming days and see where we go in terms of the budget. I mean, looking at the squad of players that are here, there are a lot of lads from the general area, and I mean, if you could keep those players together, I mean, it's a squad with an awful lot of potential. Yeah, ideally, as you say, the vast majority of them are all locally based, so which is a help. They have an affinity with the club, and but it's ideally, yeah, we'd like to keep the vast majority and add 2 or 3 faces as well. All right, thank you very much. Ian Buckley, the wait is over and St. Pat's have made their own history tonight.
Yeah, I'm delighted for everybody concerned, particularly our supporters, who I think were believing in this hoodoo that it was going to last forever, but it was going to have to stop somewhere along the line, and I'm just delighted today.
I mean, you look at the supporters in there, this probably meant more to them than the league win last year.
They're both special, and I've no doubt they really enjoy the league. Bear in mind we hadn't won it in a dozen years last year, but to win the cup is special because we have a lot of us haven't seen Pats winning the cup. The bulk of everything. There's only a few of our directors might have seen us win it last in 1961, so to nail that one, it's great.
I mean, you look at it today, I mean, it was one of those games where like it was going to be a moment of magic or it was going to be a mistake at the back that was going to win it, and I mean, unfortunately for Derry, it was the 2 mistakes at the back.
Yeah, it was quite a nervy start what it felt for both teams, but I felt when we passed it well, we created a few chances. We just needed to take them early on, but it didn't happen that way. We still had another chance or two after we actually scored to sort of get 2-0, but it didn't happen, and I'm still a little bit nervy from our point of view. But look, again, it's a cup final, the history that goes with it, the expectation. We were favourites coming in, but yet we haven't won it in 50 years. I couldn't work that one out myself, but nonetheless, I know they've worked extremely hard, and thankfully we got over the line. I mean,
it says it all about Chris Fagan's quality, that I mean, he probably had an off day today and still scored the 2 goals.
Yes, he's done really well. To be top scorer in the league, and obviously get the winner in the cup final. That's what dreams are made of.
All right, thank you very much. That's a hugely disappointing result, especially considering it was the sort of game that was going to come down to either a defensive error or a moment of magic, and unfortunately for Derry it was the defensive errors that cost them.
Obviously we're disappointed in the way we've conceded the 2 goals we could have prevented. Obviously my mistake at the end killed the game off, but it's just one of those things. We had to give Chris Fagan a lot of credit. He's a poacher, and he's sensed the danger and he scored 2 good goals in his point of view. But I think the boys played well, to be fair. We left everything out in the pitch, and we can't complain. Pats are probably worthy winners.
Looking at I mean, like the Shamrock Rovers game, the first one of the season, compared to the performances Derry have put in now. I mean, it seems like an almost entirely new squad, but it's the exact same players.
Well, that's it. Obviously we had a good result at the start of the season, but then things went a bit topsy-turvy. The football we were playing wasn't great, and then a lot of movement with the manager and players and stuff, and Pizzas came in and tried to sort of stamp his authority on the team, and we had a period there where we were playing really good stuff, and we're just disappointed the way we've ended the season. Obviously the last 3 games in the league we were very poor, which is not ideal preparation for a cup final, but we're just disappointed obviously tonight, but it's a matter of regrouping now and looking forward to next year.
A lot of players locally based in terms of in terms of Derry and stuff, and if if they can keep the bulk of that squad together. I mean, Roddy Collins said in pre-season it was good enough to win the league, and I mean these sort of players, like they are talented enough to be out there challenging. And I mean, if they can keep together for next year, anything's possible.
That's it. There's a good core of young players there. You know, we're all local players as well, but obviously you need a good mix. You know, with experience and younger lads. But to be fair to them, they've no fear at all. The likes of Paddy McElhoney, Michael Duffy, Barry McNamee, Philip Lowry's come in and been outstanding as well. So I think if we can keep them boys together, then we've got a good core, and then we can build on that for next year. You know.
And finally, you know, like we mentioned, like I was talking about like the game. I mean, if somebody had told you after the with all due respect to Derry, it was tough to watch that Shamrock Rovers game, the first one of the season. I mean, if somebody had told you you'd be in the cup final playing attractive football and be one of the better looking teams in the league, I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't have believed them.
Well, it's obviously we've came a long way since then, you know, and it's a different manager, different philosophy on that. You know, we went down there to do a job, and on the day we were very happy with our performance. We stopped Shamrock Rovers, and we were probably unlucky not to win the game. So I don't think we can criticise that performance too much, you know. But I think a lot has changed this season, and you know, we're very happy to get to the cup final. We played excellent against Drogheda. We kept in the game down there, and obviously finished the job off. And then the Shamrock Rovers game, I thought we were excellent, especially in the second game. So we deserve to be here, you know, but we just couldn't get that last step, you know. And Pats were deserved winners, to be fair to them.
Thank you very much. And Clark, the wait is over. I mean, but it was. You mentioned earlier, it looked like Pat's name was on the trophy from the very start this year.
I kind of had a feeling myself. I said it to the lads after the quarter final. I mean, the last 10 minutes in the Bowls game, they threw everything at us, and you know we stood up to that. And I knew after that, I didn't care who we got in the semis, because you know, no disrespect to the other three teams, you know, but I just knew. You just have feelings as a footballer. You just know, and I'm absolutely delighted that it's come through. You know, it's a bit of a difference from 2 years ago when we spoke. You know, so you know, all's well that ends well.
It's not often that the St. Pat's keeper can say they've kept a clean sheet in a cup final, is it?
No, and to be honest, I was due one. You know, because we've conceded a few goals this year, and you know, we've been disappointed with that, to be honest. But it's about winning games, and I couldn't have cared if today was 8-7 and the 7 goals were my fault. It's all about winning. When you come here, it's all about winning. You know, so. Absolutely delighted.
It was the sort of game, though, like as in from the very start. I mean, it was the sort of game that was either going to be decided by a moment of magic or a big defensive mistake. And unfortunately for Derry, it was the defensive aspect that lost it for them.
Yeah, you know, but to be fair, we have to be there to capitalise on that as well. And Chris Fagan, he scores big goals, you know, and as the song goes, you know. But you know, we used the cup final defeat 2 years ago to kick on the next year, and you know, I think that Derry be looking to do that as well. You know, obviously we know how they're feeling, you know, and you know, they played well today, and it's unfortunate someone has to lose, but from our end, we're absolutely delighted.
And finally, have you any word on your future for next season? I mean, like it's going to be this off season is always a nervy time for every League of Ireland player.
Well, I've been looking up. Last year I signed a two-year contract. Not 2. It's not 52 weeks. It's a 2-season contract. So I was lucky enough to get that done last year. So I'm okay. But I understand everyone's worries. You know, it's just one of them things with Irish football at the moment. You know.
All right. Thank you very much. Chris Fagan, not many St. Pat's players can say they scored the winning goal in the cup final. I mean, the wait's finally over. What's that feel like?
Brilliant, just to get the result. Obviously a goal for myself is a bonus, but delighted to end the drought for everybody, to finish the season with a trophy in such a big game. That's what it's all about.
It says it all about the quality of the team tonight, that you'd probably say that you didn't have your best day in front of goal and you still managed to get 2.
Yeah, unlucky first half, just an inch I think by the post. Couple more in the first half, my touch got away with me, where I was disappointed. You know, I would have had good chances then. But coming in at half time, we were all we knew we had a better side. You know, we were all pretty confident, just had to be patient. And I was happy enough then. The goal that I eventually got wasn't great, but the first goal, but it went in and you take it. You know, it got us going.
St. Pat's, they, like, all due respect to Derry City, but St. Pat's have the players with the more big game experience. I mean, like Keith Fahey's one talked about a lot. I mean, Killian Brennan as well has been involved in cup finals before, and yourself. I mean, there was a huge amount of experience in the St. Pat's squad, like probably more so than Derry tonight, and it probably shaded it for them.
Yeah, maybe so. The experience, obviously, of big games, the leisure games and stuff this season, and their run in last year and stuff in the cup final 2 years now. But it's not just experience, the quality in the team as well is there for anyone to see. Derry had us under the cosh second half, and we have the 4 lads at the back, 5 lads with Clarkey defended great, and we chances on the break. I missed another one where Fats put me in and just came off me heel. But the quality was there for us to defend well and then to break and hurt them. You
mentioned the Legia game. You've scored an awful lot of goals this season. You're one of the top scorers in the league, and it's probably been one of the better seasons in your career. In terms of personally. Yeah.
Personally, it's been great. I hit form early. I had a good pre-season, and I think I scored in the first league game down in Cork, and from there just kind of snowballed. My form just kept going, and I don't think I had too many spells in the season where I went more than 3 or 4 games without a goal. I managed to keep myself in the mix, which was good.
It was something that you weren't able to really achieve the last few seasons, because you've scored goals, but you've always, you've admitted yourself, you probably haven't been the quickest of starters.
Well, especially just last year, maybe I think it took me, obviously I wasn't playing every game, but still I think it took me 10 plus games to get a goal. That makes a difference, it was a huge difference.
Incredible as well.
That's what I'm saying. Bistow started great. I started slow, injury in pre-season and stuff, and the two of us battled it out. But this season, as I said, I got a good start and hit the ground running, and it just snowballed.
Finally, the off-season is always a nervy one for League of Ireland clubs and players alike. Do you think that a lot of this Pat squad, including yourself, could stick around and inch scoring for next season?
Don't see why not. I think everyone in the squad here will be happy with the way things have gone for us here at Pats. It's a great club, but at the end of the day it's up to the club, isn't it? There's a lot of us obviously out of contracts and stuff, so it's up to the main man.
Alright, thank you very much. Keith Fahy, St. Pat's have finally ended that way, and what a way to end it as well.
Yeah, it was everyone was confident going into the game. Tight game. We're just delighted to get the win. Delighted. What it means to everyone else. There was another cup final for the lads, to be honest. And we can't be talking about the voodoo and all that stuff, but it's just great that we've won it. I think it's nice to take something out of the season. Your
own experience probably played a big hand. You didn't look like you were. You could be overawed by an occasion like this. You know Lansdowne Road inside out, and it was important. Do you think it was important for a game like this when Derry didn't have anyone like yourself in the squad?
Well, they're good players. Derry are very good attacking side, so we knew we'd have to be on our guard defensively, especially the last 20 minutes. They really put it up to us, but no, it was calm and all about the whole thing. It's just another game, it's another cup final, so we were confident going into it, and I think out of the whole season it's great that the whole group has something to take from it.
After the last time you played at Lansdowne Road, it must have been nice to actually to get a win this time, and in the Pats colours as well. It must be a dream come true.
It's a dream, yeah. The last time I played in the cup final with Pats, I was sent off and we lost, but again, it's just another cup final, and it's great that we've won it. So I'm just I'm delighted. I'm delighted for everyone, and it's great. It hasn't really it's great to win things like this, but still it's quite subdued at the moment. I don't know, even going in there, I was like, Jesus, have you won it? And even looking at some of the fans look very quiet enough, and then there's a certain hardcore that are going mad, but it's we've done it now, and every year I think the fans talk about going into cup finals and you say, geez, we're going to lose it, but there was a different feel this year, and that's again no disrespect to Derry, they have good players and they really put it up to us the last 20 especially, but tight game, and just delighted to come out on top.
And finally, regardless of what happens next season, if this were to be your last game in the Pats colours, it'd be some way to go out, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah, but I won't be looking at enjoying now tonight, and just a little trip away for the weekend next weekend, which I'm looking forward to. There's a lot of pressures in football, no matter what level you're playing at, and it's nice now that we can end on a high and go and enjoy ourselves. Excuse me.
All right, thank you very much.